going on? This is Marcus, Your Place Auto Detail, coming your place. Mobile detailing. We do high-end details. On this day, working with this black car, which is a challenge to say the least. To get a black car to shine like you want it to, like you're supposed to. Problem with black is it shows everything. And over here you got a little scratch. It's a little deeper than what I polished it at, but on the left side the metal flake has been restored. On this side, a lot of scratches and whatnot still in the paint that I have to go back over or even start. I haven't even started on that side. This right here is the end results, minus I still have to go back over that with a finishing pad, or I could go back over that by hand and just finish it off to a high gloss. But back to this right here, just pointing out what I see, what I think the challenges will be. But anyway, hit me back. Marcus, Your Place Auto Detail. Yo, man, so I don't know why this is sideways, but anywho, the challenge of black paint. The problem with black paint is that, like I said earlier, it shows everything. So I'm using some 3M compound right here. Got a couple dabs on it. You don't want to get crazy. But I'm using this rotary. It's Makita rotary I'm using, 729227C, I think it is. But just want to just keep the pad moving at all times. I like to keep some spritzes, some water. I can spritz it with water every now and then. On this day it was hot. Humidity was kicking. So you got to use plenty of water once it gets friction. Once friction is involved, you don't want to burn your paint. Trying to keep everything in a 2x2 box right here. There's a myth out there that you can't work in the sun. I like to work in the sun myself. It gives me the advantage of seeing my work right then and there. Some guys like to pull in the bay, then pull out the bay, or use bay lights or whatnot. But if you use the sun and just work in small areas, you can get the same thing accomplished. Just a little bit slower, but it's worth it. So right here, I'm just going back over it. Can't tell if I changed pads right there or not, but it looks like I still got this rotary on here, and I'm just eyeballing it. Keeping everything level. I like to keep the speed about 2. Spritz it down. Keep it about 2. Sometimes you kick it up depending on the humidity, and like I said, it was very hot this day, so I didn't want to turn it up to the point where it was going so fast that the paint was being compromised. So try to keep it at about 2. When you're detailing a black car, especially a black car, you want to do it in stages. You want to start, if you can, a rotary. If you're good with a rotary, you want to keep in mind that that's a cutting pad. That's a very aggressive cutting pad at that. So if you're going to cut it down, if you're going to chop your paint down with this rotary, you gotta be sure that you follow it with a medium cut pad. And then, once you follow that, you gotta also, refine that to even a light cutting pad, and then maybe even a finishing pad. It all depends on, the level. So right here, I think I'm looking for, just pushing it down a little bit. So now I'm using, I went from 3M to a medium polish. I think it's the Merguiars 205, but maybe not. We got several polishes. I do work for auto locators and Marvel. So anybody looking for a great deal, I'm telling you right now, auto locators is the best place to get a car or vehicle. We have a detailing shop there. We also have mechanics on site. I've seen people bring cars back that they've bought, and they work with the people. Now you buy a car, it's as is, of course, but they work with you. Auto locators on Alcoa Highway. As for Sean, as for Todd, Dwayne, they'll hook you up. Anyway, back on this. I'm on stage 2. I've already cut it down. So now what I'm trying to do at this point is refine that with a medium cut pad and a medium cut polish. And if you've noticed, I've also switched from a rotary to a DA, a dual action buffer. This is critical. This is a critical step. If you're waxing on a black vehicle with a rotary and that's the only thing you're using, that's not going to be good, because you're going to have a lot of trail marks from that buffer. So what you're going to have to do is change your machine. I don't care how many times you change your pad. You got to change your machine when you're actually doing it, because if you do not, you're going to leave trail marks, you're going to leave holograms, you're going to leave all kind of stuff in that paint. So, the last thing you want to do is chase all that with this DA and I think it was a medium cut pad right here. Still spreading it with the water. Want to do another pass on this one. I like to rub it in myself before I turn it on. If you have less splatter. Now, at this particular location here, we got a Hoxie, so splatter really isn't a problem. If I was to get some splatter on, the black trim around your windows or whatnot, that Hoxie gonna knock it right out, because it's hot water. I think it's about 240, and it's shooting at 2400 psi. So it's all good. This car here, man, we worked on this car. I personally worked on this car for a total of 12 hours on this one car. This one black car took 12 hours, but that's also because we pulled the carpet out. Carpet was pretty bad in this one, and that's another thing about auto locators. When these guys clean cars at auto locators, we really clean a car. I mean, we strip them down to the bare metal, take the carpet out, Hoxie the carpet, take the seats out, whatnot, Hoxie the carpet, put them joints right back in there, and I'm telling you, that is the absolute best way to clean a carpet, and that's what we did on this one. So the carpet cleaning, waxing it, polishing it, finishing it, it was about 12 hours in. Hit the headlights on it. Headlights was pretty faded out. Oxidation had taken over on them headlights, so I hit it with some 1200 sandpaper, wet sanded, for about, I'm gonna say, an additional 30 minutes. Got the headlights looking good. I'll take some more pictures and let you see the results. This microfiber is brand new. I always try to grab you a brand new microfiber. Only use your microfibers for rubbing on wax, rubbing off wax, rubbing cars. They're very expensive, so you know you want to take the scratches a little bit lower on that paint. Now, if you look at this, you know, probably take a detailer, but there's still a glare in the paint because it has to be finished. Okay, so you know, right here in this section, this is the level of perfection I'm looking for, where you know you look at the paint and you can actually see the metal flake, because the metal flake lives exactly on the top layer, and any oxidation and whatnot covering that metal flake, you would not see it. So my objective was to pull the metal flake back without, you know, going any lower. I could have gone lower. I could have, you know, wax sanded the whole car just to give it just a, you know, wow effect. You know, not even showroom. I'm gonna say competition effect to that level. But you know, that would have taken a long time. You know, this probably took me about, total hours on the whole car was about 12 hours. This part took me about 7 to 8 to wax it and polish it down. Um, so on this section, I got the DA. I'm not using the rotary. Not here on this part. The rotary has already been used. Finished with the rotary pretty much, unless the other side needs it. But I'm just refining. It's always about just refining and refining and refining to the next level. You know, you want to refine with uh, aggressive pads at first, least aggressive, you know, and all the way down to the hand. If you want to do a hand wax, just to, you know, on your last level, you know, just to bring out, you know, all reflections, or bring back all reflections, and that's always an option also. Um, and a lot of times I do finish by hand. You know, hand work at the end is still superior. Okay, so I'm trying to bring that flake back. Once I bring that flake back, mission is pretty much accomplished. Of course, like I said, I gotta refinish it. I still have to hand wax it, but right there, that's about 90% finished. You know, minus the deeper scratches, which, you know, I just decided to leave those in there because this particular vehicle, 9 out of 10 people would think that that looks great. Alright, this is Marcus, your place auto detail.